everyone, and welcome to the weekly player chat. This week, we'll be talking about battalions and staff, and I am joined by my man Braggy,
Hey.
my boy Tickle,
No.
and Thyre from Shock.
Hello.
Like I said, today's topics are battalions and staff. We're going to start with battalions. So, how do you guys feel about the battalions currently, and how they're being ran? We can start with Braggy.
So basically, my opinion on how the battalions are being ran is something needs to be done about the COs. I'm just saying this as the XO of the 501st. I'm doing most of the things. My CO is usually offline saying, hey, if there's an event, PM me so I can get on. And even when there is an event and he is on, he's not really leading, to say.
Like, what's he doing instead? Is he leaving it to you,
he's trying to lead, but no one listens to him because he doesn't have that respect. Because he's so inactive. Like, to say maybe if he was actually on the server off of events, showing that he's caring about his troops and, being a little chill with some of the troops sometimes, then maybe they'd show him that respect.
I understand. Tickle, what are your thoughts on all of that? Or all of...
Yeah, I agree with that. With so like what Riddick's doing with Arc is he's making it where they're tested. So I think he should do that the same thing with the COs. Like they get tested on their leadership capabilities, and if they don't get their leadership capabilities, maybe they have to go through another, like a sort of training per se.
Here's what I got add on to it. See, most of the captains that are here, they're... Alright, so about battalions overall. I feel the training isn't done well enough, and with me, as the 104th sergeant that I was, since I got demoted for the hostage situation, I feel Gru didn't do well enough job training us. The only training he did was after the hostage situation I fucked up on. That was one time. He hasn't done any more after that. That was one hostage situation training out of many that could have been done. Which is kind of bullshit considering I got demoted for something that I wasn't trained on properly. As I got one training after I got demoted.
Continue, Tickle. Sorry.
So I feel the squad leaders, not just squad leads, but battalion leaders should be able to see where the troops are lacking, train them where is necessary. And like some situations with the 501st, they're being undisciplined. They're running into battle. They're doing things that they shouldn't be doing. I've seen it multiple times. It's happened multiple times. I feel it should be trained upon. They should be fixed, such as like times when the 104th, they don't have well-trained troopers, but they still get trained. The Haas situation, I want to continue on. Gru did one training out of hundreds that could have been done before the situation. He did it one afterwards. So he did one before, one after. How does that add up to enough training? I feel that training should be done more, as that's why most captains are still trial captains. They aren't doing what they should be doing for their battalion.
Yeah, I would like to go on to the point of the 501st, just because I feel the need to defend them. As the XO, when Sting was inactive for a while, Squirrel literally said to me, you have full authority over the 501st. You do not need to ask Sting for permission for anything. Your word is final. So I'm essentially the acting CO, but because of Sting, some of my squad leads and people in my regiment are actually wanting to leave and go to different servers. This also is a problem for recruitment because all the new people on the server hear about the COs, not so much the XOs, and then they're like, oh, 501st has a bad CO, I don't want to join them. So I try to do training, but most of my troops don't necessarily get on because they don't want to, because they don't like how Sting runs things. And if Sting, and they're afraid that Sting's going to be on, and his training is, personally, in my opinion, very inefficient.
What kind of trainings does he do that you would consider inefficient? Kind of
I
building
mean,
off of.
he doesn't even do trainings necessarily per se. I mean, yeah, it's a joke that we have the 5-minute tryouts for our regiment, but they legit are 5-minute tryouts. I mean, just the other day, he recruited someone into the regiment that, in my opinion, is completely incompetent.
I can understand the frustration with that, especially when you guys are supposed to be working as a team.
Yeah, so I've had arguments with Sting all the time, but, you know, technically my word is final. But I don't think Sting realizes that.
Yeah, and Thayer, what are your thoughts coming from a shock point of view? How do you feel about how shock's being run and looking at the other battalions from your shock point of view?
Alright, well, for other battalions, they look like gods compared to us, because, like, everyone says we're good on ship or a bad off ship. The reason why we're bad off ship is because, well, I was talking to Thorne, the battalion leader, and he says that, and I quote, we don't need citadel training because we don't need to be battle trained, because we're only good for, defending the checkpoint and defending the brig and everything like that. But in reality, we also have to defend people of high importance, like VIPs or prisoners and stuff. And if we're doing a prisoner like walk around, if we're taking a prisoner from one location to put it into another, and if we get like in a pickle between droids, we can't do. If we're not trained, we're just gonna end up shooting the guy that we're supposed to protect. Like one event, we were supposed to just take the guy simply to the lat, and it was me and three other shocks, sorry, and they just let him go away. They just let him run, basically. They said, okay, go, and then the guy hit him with the stun stick and basically boosted him far beyond the lat. And it's just, I think most of the shock that we have right now just needs to be trained more.
Train more in the battle aspect of it.
Yes.
All right, and then continuing, how do you guys feel about these open battalions?
I feel like it's just a place for people who don't want to go through tryouts.
All right, Tickle?
Can you rephrase it? What do you
Like,
mean?
how do you feel about the open battalions, like the 187th now and the 212th? How do you like that concept?
All right, about that concept, I feel some people, they're taking advantage of that just to get cooler things. Situation as the cool armor, situation as if somebody else joins, they're going to be in charge of them, and they haven't gone through proper training to actually deserve the title or anything in the battalions. Like, I saw one 212th who just became 212th and he's already a corporal. Since I had to work for like a month, I don't see where there's a point of being fair there. Since they're open battalions, I don't think there's any fair leadership in the battalion besides the people who just quick joined them.
Yeah, and to add to that, it is a little odd sometimes when you're on ship and you just see someone who's in one of those open battalions, and because they're the lead of their squad, they have like the full armor and they get more respect than some people who may be a lieutenant.
Now, do you think that's because they're the squadly position, or because their squads have shown themselves a little bit better than some of the battalions have?
I think it's just the armor itself. The armor itself shows like, oh, hey, I'm of high class.
All right. Thayer, your thoughts on all this?
With the open battalions,
Yep.
I get it's kind of cool to not just be a shiny all the time and you're just in regular CT armor. But I mean, I don't think we should have 2 battalions as an open. Maybe just 1. Because I think 2 battalions open is just a joke, because Well, really, and it takes a long time as well to get to a battalion because you have to talk to Riddick, and then you have to so you can get certified to be a part of that. But as one of my old shock members, you may know him, Mixer. He was a private in shock, and he changed to corporal. Now he's back to private, and then he changes to corporal every now and then. Kind of weird, and well, I just don't think that he didn't get trained at all to get into there. He just was given the squad lead position, so they should get trained.
So you want to make sure that the open battalions are still getting trained by somebody.
Yes.
All right, and I have to ask this because they haven't been brought up. What do you guys view on the 327th, since they're the only ones not mentioned so far?
They're not mentioned for a reason. They're doing a good job.
The Golden Children.
I say 327th. They're doing an alright job in their battlefield. They actually know what they're doing during some battlefield situations, considering they have more intuitive thoughts during battle, since they're able to draw troopers or draw enemy fire away from other troopers. Situations like that one stealth mission. They went up on, they showed ingenuity while outflanking droids on that one stealth mission where we had, where they went over the catwalk, and they showed that they actually have some good training and good training on what to spot and what to look out for during battlefield situations.
In fact, I've actually requested a couple of times that my troops go through some of the trainings with the 327th, but none of my troops ever seem to want to get on due to our CO's reputation.
Yeah, and with that, I've been in. Well, as you told me, that you invited Shock to do the training with you guys, and it was turned down by our higher ups. But in reality, I think actually, in the future, just ask us because we'll probably go and do it since we don't get enough training as is. And I don't care if you yell at us for doing the wrong thing. We have to make mistakes in order to learn.
And I agree with only can better yourself by getting additional training. And that covers all the battalions, so we're going to move on to staff. How do you guys feel the staff is as a whole, the game masters and the support staff?
I really don't have any problems with them.
I mean, the only staff that I usually talk to is Morgan, the GM. But, he always helps me out whenever I do CQC certifications and all that. So I really don't have a problem with staff.
Fire?
I think the only problem I have with staff is that a lot of the staff are in high positions in the naval, and it's kind of hard to protect nothing.
Well, I mean, back to the battalions, I've asked some people who are staff and are in naval if they would want to join the 501st, and they said that they would if Sting wasn't the CO.
So we're going back to how image is.
Image is very important.
Is very important. How big the CO role actually is. They might not be running the show per se, like in your case, but their image is what everybody sees. That one person reflects the entire battalion.
Yes.
And so the support staff is kind of there. They're doing their own thing. You don't have any issue with them. How do you like the game masters and their events they're doing currently?
Well, they seem to repeat themselves a lot. We get attacked almost every day by a fleet, and then we somehow BS our way through 5 fleet things and still survive, which sometimes surprises me. But I like their events, but just some of them aren't really original. They happen a lot and over a lot and a lot and a lot, and just different maps, but same thing.
We need to have more opportunities to fail than we do to pass.
Which is what Scythes is trying to do.
Yeah.
Do his events stand out more than other events, or
yes.
How do you guys feel with that?
Yes, definitely.
All right, so the last couple ones, we have our boys Squirrel and Riddick. How do you guys feel about those two?
Squirrel and Riddick have both helped me a lot. Squirrel being the one who gave me full authority, and Riddick helping me with getting things in the Discord situated when I asked Sting 6-7 times to get something situated, like if I need a permission to do something.
Yeah, and Riddick helped. Well, Riddick's the only reason why I'm still in shock. If it wasn't for him, I probably would have already left and just made probably like my own squad in CT. But he actually gave me. He said that I should stay in shock because hopefully he's gonna try to fix shock than what it is right now. And if that happens, then well, there's a point in being in shock again because our shock lead is not the best. And I really like Riddick for trying to improve the battalions and with Squirrel, I like what he does, and there's no problems with him except for when he joined the Discord and screamed. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Squirrel.
How about you, Tickle? Your thoughts?
I don't really have a problem with both of them. Riddick seems like a really chill guy. He actually does stuff that actually benefits the community, and his events, by far, 20 out of 6. And Squirrel, I feel just in game, he's a loud person because that's a thing he has to play as a tough, hard ass to make sure everybody's doing what they are supposed to be doing.
Exactly. Do you guys have any other comments you'd wish to bring up? Anything you forgot to say you'd like to say now?
I want to say this. If Groot is watching this, chill out on the screaming. You scream way too much.
Yeah, and if Thorn's watching this, try to train us more. I think it'd benefit us all as a whole.
I guess I have to say something to Sting now, since you guys all said stuff to your COs. All right, if Sting's watching this, try to care more about your public appearance. Don't try to just order people around for the sake of trying to get people's respect.
And 40, you all right. Keep up the good work. So I encourage everyone watching these videos to leave comments down below, giving us your feedback as well. The only way things are really going to change is if everybody voices up and speaks their mind. So again, thank you all for watching, and hope you have a great day.